Hi, my name is Tiffany Johnson, and I'm a landfill engineer with the Michigan Department of Environment, Great Lakes, and Energy. And we're here today to talk about trash. Think about all the trash that you might generate in a day. A wrapper from a granola bar, a tissue to blow your nose, or a dried up marker that you no longer use. Have you ever thought about where all that waste goes? Using this EnviroScape model available for checkout from EGLE Classroom's lending station, we'll learn all about where trash goes after it's picked up from your curb, how it's managed to prevent harm to us and our environment, and what we can all do to reduce waste in the first place. Trash, garbage, rubbish, waste, whatever you call it, it all comes from different places. It's made up of things we buy, use, and throw away when we no longer need them, and it's a result of our daily life at work, home, and school. The type and amount of trash we make depends on our choices and how we live our life. National averages show that each person generates 4 pounds of trash each day. That's over a half a ton per person per year. In 2021 alone, Michigan threw away over 13 million tons of trash. So, how do we make sure all this trash does not harm all the air, land, and water around us? Before there were federal regulations around landfills, we only had old-style dumps. People would dig a hole in a low-lying area, throw the trash in, and cover it with soil. While that hid trash from view, it still allowed rainwater to seep through the buried waste, where it picked up contaminants and carried them to the groundwater we used for drinking water. Today's landfills are way better than those old dumps. Engineers designed them to hold and protect the trash so it doesn't harm the environment or us. One of the most important parts is the liner system, which keeps contamination from seeping into the ground and affecting our groundwater that we often use for drinking, bathing, and cleaning. Modern landfills also have a way to keep rainwater from mixing with the trash. This is called a stormwater drainage system. But there are still liquids in landfills because as the waste breaks down, it naturally produces a liquid called leachate. Leachate includes dirt, chemicals, bacteria, and other things found in everyday trash. When this trash juice reaches the bottom of the landfill, it stops because it gets caught in the landfill's leachate collection system. In this layer of the collection system, there are pipes and pumps that move leachate out of the landfill and into an above-ground storage tank for treatment. Notice that there is no leachate collected in this bottom layer of the landfill. This is the landfill's backup collection layer, which is used as a leak detection system. Landfill operators are careful to protect the primary liner, but if it does get a hole, a backup collection layer prevents that leachate from seeping into the groundwater. Monitoring the leak detection layer allows operators of the landfill to determine if there's a leak in the primary liner. It's easier, cheaper, and better for a landfill to fix a problem before leachate makes its way to our groundwater. Cleaning up contamination is tough and very expensive. Modern landfills also have a groundwater monitoring system with a series of wells that inspectors sample to make sure the groundwater remains safe to use. Trash in a landfill contains bacteria, which causes the trash to break down and decompose. The type of bacteria that grows best in a landfill is called anaerobic bacteria. This means it likes an environment without any oxygen. This type of decomposition produces landfill gas. Landfill gas is made up of approximately 50% methane, 50% carbon dioxide, and a few other trace gases. Did you know that those trace gases are what make a landfill stink? Landfill gases are extremely flammable, so landfill operators capture these gases in a landfill gas collection system. This improves safety and it reduces methane emissions that contribute to climate change. Older landfills often burn gas in a flare, but newer landfills often convert it to energy to power the landfill's facilities. Now we know how a landfill works, but what happens when it's full? Landfill operators typically cap a filled landfill with a thick layer of clay and a strong plastic liner. Then they add a thick layer of soil and plant shallow-rooted plants like grasses and wildflowers. The cap seals the waste away from the air and reduces the amount of water that enters the landfill. Deep-rooted plants like trees are not allowed because they can puncture the liner and let water in. Landfill managers are required to monitor the landfill for at least 30 years after closing to ensure there are no leaks. This protects people and our environment from possible contamination. Since we all generate trash, modern engineered landfills are an important part of every community's materials management systems. But a lot of what goes into our landfills day to day could be managed in a much more sustainable way. That's where you come in. In 2019, EGLE learned a lot about the waste that was sent to landfills in Michigan. 38% was organic, including food, yard waste, and compostable paper and packaging. All of these could be composted. 26% was material like plastics, metals, or glass that could have been recycled in a curbside program. 20% was other recyclables like clothing, appliances, scrap metal, electronics, bulky plastics, and plastic films. Only 16% were things that actually belonged in a landfill. We could reduce the amount of waste going to landfills by 84% if we practice sustainable materials management. We can do this by reducing the amount of new things we buy, reusing and repurposing old materials before buying new, and recycling and composting. So today we've learned about what happens to our trash, how we can keep it from harming people and our planet, and how we can be more responsible about what we throw away. But how can we be sure that our waste is handled right? EGLE staff like me work with landfill operators to make sure that they follow the regulations and keep our communities healthy. EGLE also has people that help promote recycling, composting, and other eco-friendly ways to deal with our waste. Thanks for joining me and learning about how landfills work. If you want to learn more about landfills or how you can be more eco-friendly, visit michigan.gov/solid waste. And if you want to check out this EnviroScape, go to michigan.gov/EGLE Classroom. Thanks for watching.